for 20 years or so, and they have been doing the new member program now for the last 13 years. And so they'll talk about membership, and they did the new member class just recently, and will be bringing our new members up. But they have 13 years, right? Isn't that what you told me? 13 years. You've been doing new member? Yes. And so so they have let me know that they're kind of getting done with it. So they're like, okay, this is good, but we'd like to offer our gift in other places. So a huge thank you to Christine and Sherry for holding the vision, for being amazing members yourself, for holding the vision for our new members, for bringing them on board, for letting them know what's so amazing about CSL Dallas. And we really want to say a massive thank you. So please say thank you to Christine and Sherry. Yes.
Good morning. And somebody's going to turn the mic on. There it goes. So for those of you who have not been through this process, we get to spend a whole day together with these new folks and really diving deep, not only into what it means to be a member here. You know, the top line is, oh, you get to vote in the election in January, but it means so much more than that. And I think, you know, the big inspiration for Sherry and myself has been that we remember the day we walked through those doors. And I think people who have hung here for a while and become part of this community will never forget that and the path that got you here. And it's so important to us, Sherry and I personally, but also those of us who have been around, to really just embrace everyone with that. But it's also a deep dive for these folks. They get to learn about all of the things and the structure beneath what you see here on Sundays and during the week and classes we teach. There's a whole lot more that goes on. And it's not what goes on, but it's our why. It's our way of doing things. It's our style of interacting with one another. It's being part of this community because we're it, right? There's nobody else out there going to come in and do the things that make the wheels go around here. And so when our new members come on board, it's just such a beautiful, sacred celebration of their yes and who they have come here to be and the gift that they bring. So thank you for saying yes. Any of you who are interested in that sacred yes and going deeper, please feel free to chat with us after service, and we'll get started.
Sure.
Yeah, it'll be. Come on.
It'll be. Yeah, everybody come up.
So they can see all of you. And then they're going to come in here. So just.
There she is. You want me to give them? There you go.
Oh, we don't have a mic for them.
Daniel's got them.
Daniel.
So Daniel's going to be the microphone. You might want to stand over here because they're going to be putting it. They're going to be putting their beautiful flower here into the vase. So, okay.
All right. Here we go. So, yeah, we have a couple that weren't able to join us in person today, but we're going to recognize them. The ritual team members are going to fill in for them. But this is our new member group, and we're just so, as Christine said, we're so thrilled to welcome them into the community. So, first of all, we have Brian Plymale. Brian, come forward and share your gifts.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I bring to CSL Dallas love, kindness, and wisdom.
Yes, he does.
Add your flower to our beautiful vase.
Yes.
Come on down here. Stand right over here. Come right down here. Clearly, we did not have a rehearsal.
We didn't have rehearsal.
Just right here. Stand right here.
This is ad lib.
Just right here. We're going to line up over here. No, there you go.
We're good at
Perfect.
this. We're good at this. All right.
We're good at this.
Next, we have Denise Ackerman, one of our fabulous music team members.
I bring to CSL Dallas wisdom, love, song, and service.
Yay. Yes, she does. All right, next we have a,
So let's stop for a minute. Let's just stop for a minute. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the center of the platform and you're going to say what your gift is. Okay? Then you're going to take this beautiful flower and you're going to add it to the
the vase.
arrangement that represents CSL Dallas.
That's the
All right?
community.
This is our community, and then you're going to go make a new line over here, one at a time, where I can say welcome to you and happy that you're here. All right, now that we've had rehearsal.
okay, this is called dress rehearsal for those of you in the audience. All right, y'all got it now? Okay, here we go. All right, next we have Frank Vitale.
Good morning, everyone. I finally took the orientation after 8 years, so apparently I'm a new member.
Yay!
So I'm here to bring loving, connection, and enthusiasm to
Yes.
this community.
Yay. And we're also delighted to welcome the beautiful Harpreet Vitale.
Hello. I've come here to be compassionate, grounding, and a loving messenger of God.
I know, so beautiful. Okay, now we have a very special person here. She came all the way from Georgia. She has been online with us from Georgia for months taking classes. And she said yes to become a new member. And she said, and I'll be there in person. Please welcome Lee Broshot. Lee.
Good morning. I have come here to bring willingness to learn, growth, willingness to listen, apply, to serve. Thank you.
Okay, Patrick Smith. Yay.
I bring to CSL Dallas humor, divine intelligence as technology, and loving kindness.
Yay! Look at that beautiful bouquet growing. It's fabulous. Okay, next we're going to welcome Andrea Ayala. Is that Ayala? Thank you. Andrea.
Good morning. I'm here to bring depth. I'm also a teacher. Anything I learn, I have to pass it on to someone else, and that's how I get it myself. So, and love.
Yay. And we have our fabulous husband also joining us, Raphael.
I'm here to bring the freedom of my spirit to the universe and to all of you guys and all of it. All right?
Yeah. Okay, our next new member, Sahana. Sharon could not be here, but Sharon's going to put hers in, and her gifts are that she brings love, belief, and uplift as an expression of God. And last but not least, we have Lauren True. and Constance is going to represent her. And Lauren's gifts are she's come here to be kind, loving, and intuitive.
Next to your beautiful bouquet that you have grown for us. And, you know, we love to think about it as CSL Dallas, that we are a garden together. And every time that we have folks walk through that door, we plant seeds in their heart. They plant seeds in ours. And when those seeds grow, our bouquet, our garden grows, it flowers. Each and every one of you brings something special, as you have shared, and each and every one of you are a gift to us. Whether you're brand new to us, whether you've been with us for a long time, and whether you're in person or online, it matters. It matters to us that you know that you matter, that your presence makes a difference, that your care and love of CSL Dallas makes a difference. And you stand on the shoulders of all the people who have stood here before you, as Christine and Sherry have shared. And so thank you for your heart. Thank you for your willingness. Thank you for your gift. And thank you for your commitment. So I'm going to invite everybody in the community to stand. Those of you who are online, you can simply join us. You can lift your hands up as if you are sharing your love and presence, whether you are in the room or online. And your job up there is just to receive. And so if you would repeat after me, we welcome you into our hearts. We welcome you into our home. May we travel this road together. May we bless each other. And may our light be a blessing to the world. We are so grateful for you. And so it is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Thank you. You may be seated. We're so grateful. All right. And as our new members are sitting down, we'll bring our music team back up again for whatever fabulous thing they're doing with us today.
Everything is sacred. Everything is filled with the divine. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Everything is a wonder, unfolding right before our eyes. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. Yeah. Everything is a blessing, bursting from the earth and sky. Everything is alive with spirit, with spirit. And guess what? Everyone is sacred. Everyone is filled with the divine. Everyone is alive with spirit, with spirit. sacred.
Thank you. Yay, thank you so much. And what a beautiful way to bring our new member moment to a close. We truly do believe that. Everyone is sacred. Everyone is part of our radical inclusion. And all of it, not just every person, but all beings everywhere, is all part of the whole. And yeah, so I have a few things to say before we start. First of all, I have to find what I'm talking about. A few things to say. First of all, a humongous thank you for my time while I was away, for Dr. Tracy, for Faye, and for our staff for having August be fabulous. Yes, so huge kudos, great monumental thanks. Oh, and to Reverend Karen as well. She also did a talk, and so just so lovely. I love being able to take August off, and I love going, and I love coming home. And so that's when you know it's been good, is when you're ready to come home. And all I got to do is hear the stories, and no fires. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing, and they just work it out. And it is a beautiful and lovely, lovely thing to feel the health and well-being of our community. And I'm so grateful that you're a part of it. So we are having our conversation about doobie-doobie-doobie-doo, right? And one of the things that I realized when I first really started getting into the science of mind was how much everything resolves itself into a paradox, which I found annoying as all get out. I want the answer. I want to know which is the right way, the right thing. I want somebody to tell me exactly what it is, and I will follow it. Yeah, not so much, right? And so that's a bit of what we're exploring this month, is this deep paradox of the dance. So today we're talking about the dance of creation. And when I first got into the science of mind and I first got into spirituality, there was a lot of conversation about alignment and about allowing spirit to flow through us. And if we could just open ourselves up, somehow everything would be fabulous. And one of the words that I heard a lot was to learn how to be in balance. Learn how to be in balance with ourselves, learn how to be in balance with life, learn how to just balance that spirituality, and if we could just stay spiritual, then the humanness would somehow get fixed. And so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out this balance. Oh, and then of course, then we learned to meditate, and I learned to do spiritual practice, and I went and had an amazing meditation teacher. He'd been a monk at the Paramahansa Yogananda ashram, and so for him, meditation practice was 3 hours a day. So I figured 1 hour would be good, and so 1 hour a day of that, and then an hour for a workout, and then an hour to eat right, and then an hour for friendships, and an hour for self-care, and 8 hours of sleep. And I was like, when do I work? How does that actually work? Right? And so I was constantly struggling with that, and then I had a child, and for all of you who've had children, all bets were off, right? Balance went completely out the window, which was extremely annoying to me, because I had at that point perfected balance. I had, in fact, really figured it out. And this is what balance looked like to me, right? And I did a lot of work. I got it, it's good. Everything's okay. My life is in balance. No. Well, How annoying to discover that all I was really trying to do is control everything. Because I thought balance meant standing in the middle of the teeter-totter, kind of, you know, keeping everything in the groove. Well, first of all, I discovered that all I was really trying to do is control everything. And second of all, it was boring as hell. Because everything was flat. That's what I was trying to do, keep it flat. Not too high, not too low, can't have problems. God forbid, that must mean I'm not being spiritual, right? You can't have sorrow, you can't be angry, right? Because all of those things mean you're not doing it right. And I really spent a lot of time seeking balance. And I'll never forget an executive coach who really began to do a lot of work with me around this on various different topics. But I realized that balance actually looks very different. Balance is actually about being in the dance of life. You know, I used to do that as a kid when you would try to make you and your partner on the teeter-totter like hang in the balance, right? And then after a while it's like, okay, that's boring, right? So then you start up and down, throwing each other off. How hard can you hit? What can you do, right? And it's the motion of the teeter-totter that actually makes it so fun. And I began to realize that balance actually is the ability to move with agility and confidence from one side to the other. Sometimes over here, sometimes over here, not trying to keep it in stasis, right? Not trying to keep it static. That's how I misinterpreted perfection. But to really embrace wholeness, the wholeness of our lives, spirit and human, being and doing. All of life, the beauty, the joy, and the deep experiences of sorrow, challenge, and the work of moving through those things to reemerge in a place of joy. And when I started to really embrace that balance is actually a dance, such an extraordinary moment of opening began to occur, and less resistance, less being thrown by things that were happening, less wishing it were different than it was, and more being in the dance. And this idea of the dance of creation really began to help me with working with our fundamental ideas in the science of mind. Fundamental to the science of mind is what Ernest Holmes calls a dual unity. And if that's not a paradox, I don't know what is. A dual unity. And so, yes, oneness is at the heart of what we teach, but that oneness is a wholeness which actually includes both sides, if you will, of the teeter-totter. In this case, but two different ideas that actually make up the whole, the nature of reality. Love and law. Love and law. A seeming paradox that is actually the dual unity of the dance of creation. Now, the problem for me was, of course, I misinterpreted both of those words when I first heard them, and I placed my human idea onto love and law. And so I looked at law and went, well, the justice system doesn't really work so well, so I don't know about this law thing. And love, well, love just, hadn't worked out for me for a lot of years. It hadn't worked out for me so well. The love at home in my childhood was not so great. And so it looked like codependence or, just avoiding it altogether and lots of different kinds of things. And ultimately, I just wanted, could I just have the Hallmark movie? Right? Haven't we all wished for the Hallmark movie? Except that that's not really what love means, first of all, for us. But it's not what love, and neither one of these things are what love and law means from the infinite perspective. And again, we see how easy it is for us to impose human ideas onto the infinite, as opposed to allowing the infinite to reveal itself to us and recognize that that's actually who we are. So today we're talking primarily theoretically about the nature of reality, and corroborated by our experience, our mystical experiences, and our intuitive knowing, and our spiritual study, and all the things that we've done to bring ourselves to that place where we begin to have a new idea and a new understanding about what's really going on. Love and law. And so love is defined in the science of mind as the self-givingness of spirit into creation. In other words, it's the impulse of that aliveness that Glenda so beautifully sung about. It is the spirit of aliveness. It's life itself. It's the impulse for the unformed, which is what the infinite is as pure, unadulterated presence. The impulse of that to express in creation, in form. Without form or creation, the one is unexpressed. And so love is that desire to express the impulse, and then it is the self-givingness of itself into creation, which we translate into everything you've always needed has already been there. The givingness of the one, all of its qualities and attributes, giving of itself into its creation. And of course, we're the place where that creation is waking up to discover these truths, not just to unconsciously live them. So yes, we are in fact loved beyond measure. We've been given life, the ability to feel, to express, the intellect to understand, the mystical potential for connection to experience, the willingness to explore and discover, all of the ways in which we are opening ourselves. All of that is the impulse of life itself, of that presence to become and to be as creation. The flower, the tree, the star, multiverses, wherever, whenever, all beings, everywhere. All of it. It takes all of it to begin to express the infinite nature of the one. And it's not like, oh, well, good luck. No, it's the infinite givingness. That's how much love there is in the universe. And not the conditional human love that we have experienced or that we have tried to give, no matter how unconditional it is. But that absolute impulse to be expressed and to give everything that's required. There is no deeper love, no greater love. And it is the impulse that directs our lives. When we say, I'm going to hear how Spirit is moving as us, right? Do you see, we are in we are allowing Spirit to direct. We are in the receptive place. And that impulse is what's directing creation all the time. Love. Love is the trajectory of life. Love is the trajectory of life. When they say love is the answer, it doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean accepting everything that's ever been done. It doesn't mean that every opinion is okay or every behavior is okay. What it means is that the trajectory of life is always for life. That love is always trying to get out into expression. That's the trajectory of life itself. And we can trust that. And we can lean into that. That's what's going on in creation all the time. And law, well, law is the other side of that paradox. Law has no opinion about what the impulse is that's given to it. It simply knows how to do everything that needs to be done. It knows how to take that impulse and make it something. So love is the directive. Law is actually the receptive aspect that says, oh, okay, we're going to have a quasar. Oh, I know how to do that. Oh, okay, we're going to have a sequoia tree here. Oh, I know what the seed needs to do. I know what the soil needs. Right? Of course, we're anthropomorphizing it. It's not a being. It's not anthropomorphic. It can only receive the impulse, and it's the infinite universal law that knows then how to do it. The philosopher Plotinus, right, he understood this was the doer, whereas love is the knower of itself, to be itself. Law is the doer. Now, we often use the word impersonal. Well, if the law is impersonal, what that means is anybody can use it, including the infinite creation. But do you see that's the paradox, because love is the trajectory, which is hugely personal, isn't it? It is the desire to express. And law, so the other word that I like better than impersonal is it's automatic. It automatically makes whatever the impulse is, it makes it happen and come out in creation. So it's automatic. And it is the receptive. It's like like the soil, right? Doesn't matter whether you plant corn seeds or tomato seeds, or you're going to grow a succulent plant or a sequoia tree, right? The soil knows what it needs and knows how to do that. The soil doesn't say to you, wait, you know, it's way too hot here. Sequoias are not going to grow. If you want to plant a sequoia tree, right, it's going to try to help that sequoia tree grow, even though we've planted it in the wrong place. The soil just knows how to give it what it needs and to be receptive to the idea that's being impressed or the impulse that's being impressed, right? And oftentimes we think of this as a little bit different. We're going to play with these paradoxes all month because it depends on where we're standing, which of these sides of the paradox we ourselves are activating. So the first thing we have to understand is this dance of creation. Love and law are constantly in the dance. The impulse of love to express, to become, to give of itself into creation in as many different ways as it possibly can, and the law making that happen. So in fact, love leads and law follows. If it's a dance, love leads and law follows. So when we are seeking to listen to Spirit, right, it is that love that we're seeking to listen to. But when we talk about it next week, we're also going to recognize that we're listening to the law and that sometimes we're leading and the law is following. And so this is the dual unity, the personal idea that love is impressing itself through creation, and the impersonality or the automatic nature of the law. The dual unity. And at any given point, right, life itself is playing on that teeter-totter. Sometimes it's really focused on that impulse, and other times it's just the law working itself out. Other words that we use for love and law, the first one for love is we use the word presence. Again, I love that song that you sang, everything is alive. Everything is sacred. Presence is the aliveness that is not only impulsing into creation, but is imbued in all of creation, right here, right now. Not just in people, but in everything, right here, right now. Right here, right there at home, wherever you are listening to this. So here's the deal. You cannot get outside of presence. You can't be lost. You can't need to reconnect. There is nowhere to go. Do you see? Because presence is life itself. It's that which vibrates the molecules that has made the chairs. It's that which causes the quantum wave to become a particle. It's right here in the very air we breathe, in the space between the molecules. You can't get outside of it. That's how loved you are. You can't be lost. You can't be disconnected. We can forget. We can get in the way. But presence, it's always there. Always. And the same is true for principle. This is another word that I like better than law. Love and law are the words that Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind mostly uses, but he also uses these two words, principle and presence. Principle we see as that knowledge that knows how to make everything, right? One of the most beautiful examples of principle in nature is the Fibonacci number, right? You see that in the spirals that are everywhere, and they all have exactly the same relationship. Sacred geometry is such a beautiful